Hey, seventh graders, it's Mrs. Antos. We are moving on to 9.4. I think you guys will really like this lesson today. It's a lot of just identifying shapes, learning about different three-dimensional shapes and how we name them. We're moving past just a cube or a pyramid. We're going to actually name them properly. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need, besides having your paper to take notes, you're also going to need some note cards. I believe there are 9 definitions, so you can refer back to this video for the definitions, or you can look in your book as well when you go down to sit down and do those notes and definitions. So, first things first. So we have three-dimensional figures, and it goes without saying that they have 3 dimensions. That's why they're called 3D figures, okay? The 3 dimensions that they have are length, width, and height. Make sure you jot that down, even though, hopefully you know that. So we have a couple parts of that 3-dimensional figure that we need to define. The first one is a face. A face is a flat surface of the 3-dimensional figure. Okay, so I'm going to hold up a 3-dimensional figure that I have from school. I brought it home with me. And if you look, this has a bunch of flat surfaces that are making up this 3-dimensional figure. Those are all the faces, okay? Where the faces connect, right here, see these faces right here? And where the 2 faces, this face and this face connect, those are called edges, okay? Those are called edges. So that's another definition that you're going to need to know. Okay, now next is a polyhedron. So the first couple of shapes we're going to talk about are polyhedrons. And polyhedrons are 3-dimensional figures whose faces are polygons. Okay, if it's not a polygon involved, it's not a polyhedron. When you have all those polygons and the edges of those shapes meeting, the 3 edges, they will form like a pointy part right here, and that is called a vertex. Okay. And then finally, the last definition for this slide is the part the shape that we use to name the polyhedron is called a base. So this is a base. This is a base. They're both the same shape. They're hexagons, so that's what we're going to use to name this particular shape. Okay, now on the next slide, we talk about prisms and pyramids. So these are going to be your next two definitions here. A prism is when you have 2. First of all, both a prism and pyramid, they have to be polyhedrons. There's no way to have a prism or a pyramid if it's not a polyhedron, okay? So the 2 types we have, the first is a prism. The prism needs to have 2 bases. So again, this piece that I showed you before, this is a prism. It has a base here and a base here, and you have all these faces that are connecting those 2 bases together, okay, to make it a prism. A pyramid is a little different. A pyramid has 1 base. So this is kind of like your ancient Egyptian pyramids. It's the best thing that pops into my mind. This one has a square base, and it just has these 4 faces that meet at a point up here. So for it to be a prism, it can only have 1 base. Okay, so you have to distinguish between a prism and a pyramid. Now, this is the part of the notes where it gets a little tricky. If you can't draw this stuff, that's okay. Maybe just follow along. It's in your book. You can look in your book as well. You can find stuff online. But what we're going to do is take a look at a few of these items on the notes, and then also the ones that I have with me, and we're going to name them. Okay, so the first one here we have, it looks like a prism to me because I've got a base here, and then I have a base back here. It's very hard to show this on a 2-dimensional paper, right? But if we count the sides of our prism, we have of our base 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have an 8-sided figure that's an octagon. So we're going to call this an octagonal prism. And note, if you have 8 sides in your base, guess how many faces you're going to have? 8. Okay, so we have 8 rectangular faces. That creates an octagonal prism. This one that I was holding up before, this is a hexagon. We talked about that just now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So our bases are hexagons. So this will be a hexagonal prism. Okay, let me get to a pyramid. So now here's the next one. We have a base down here, just one base. Do you see a base up here? Nope, it creates a point. So that point is our dead giveaway. This is telling us that this is a pyramid. So what we have to do is figure out our base and then we can name it. Okay, so if we look at our base, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. It's a pentagon. So we have a pentagonal prism. Okay, and again, look at it. We have 5 sides for our base. Guess how many faces there are? 5. You see a pattern? Okay. If you look at this one that I was holding up before, this is a square, I believe. Yeah, it looks like a square to me. So we got 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles creating this point up here. So this is, again, a prism. Do I have another prism in here? I don't. Okay, that's all right. Let's look at this one. This one is pretty neato. This is, don't get confused because you see triangles, you might want to think prism. This one's not a prism. I'm sorry, you want to think pyramid. This is not a pyramid, this is a prism. Okay, because it has 2 bases. It has a triangular base here and a triangular base here. And it is connected by 3 rectangles. 1, 2, 3 rectangles. So this is a triangular prism. All right. So let me kind of go through a couple more here. We just talked about that one. We talked about that one, a hexagon. We had a real life example of that. This is what I just showed you. Here's what it looks like in real life. Triangular prism. This is special, sort of. This is like this right here, this little guy. This is a cube. All of the sides are squares. The faces and the bases are squares. So this has a special name. This is a cube. This is something we've been talking about forever since we were little kids. This is something you played with in preschool when you were doing board games, right? This is like the shape of a die or a dice, okay? So that's pretty cool. All right, let's move on. These are everything we just talked about, those were polyhedrons because they're made of polygons, okay? Now we're going to switch gears. We're going to look at stuff that are not polyhedrons because their faces are not polygons. Okay, there's 3 that we're going to focus on. And I would like you to obviously take notes on these and then also make these into note cards. So the first one is a cylinder. A cylinder has 2 parallel congruent bases that are circles. That's a really kind of big tongue twister, but what you need to know about that is that the bases are circles. So here's a little skinny cylinder that I have from the classroom. This is a circle. This is a circle right here, and then it's connected with a base. I also have this thicker cylinder. This kind of reminds me of like those candles you buy at like Bath and Body Works, or like a flameless candle, just missing the flame up here. So here's a cylinder. Okay, circle, circle, connected. And you know, tomorrow, or not tomorrow, actually after Easter break, we're going to talk about what connects these 2 bases. Okay, that's going to be a whole fun formula to learn about. Okay, next is a cone. A cone, obviously, it's just like an ice cream cone, right? It has 1 base this time. This is kind of like, if you want to think about it, this is kind of similar to a prism. It's not a prism though. And then this is kind of similar to a pyramid. It's not a pyramid though because we don't have polygons, okay? So a cone has 1 base that's a circle, 1 base, not 2, 1 base. And then when you take the other parts that connect it, it comes and forms a point up top here. Okay, that's called a vertex. It's called a base. This is called the vertex. And then the last one, again, we've seen this since we were little kids, right? One of the first toys you probably ever had was a ball of some sort that your parents let you throw around the house. This is a sphere. A sphere is very special. It's like a circle. A circle is very special. It's got an infinite number of points and all that. This is the same thing. This is it has made up of points where if you pick one point, every other point is the same distance away from that point on the sphere. But I like to just think of this, you know, as a ball. So like a baseball, if you have baseball, tennis ball, soccer ball, that's a sphere. An orange, a little clementine, those are all spheres, okay? So let's name a few of those. Now, what we're going to do, we're kind of going to combine everything that we have and determine if it's a polyhedron. So like we did composite figures in the last 2 sections ago, I believe, this is the same idea. And here we have 2 different 3-dimensional shapes. We have to determine if it's a polyhedron. So if you break them up, you notice you have a rectangular prism on top, and then a rectangular prism on the bottom, and a rectangular pyramid on top. Both of them are polyhedrons, so guess what? The shape is a polyhedron. Okay, we can't really name it as one name, but we can name it as a figure made up of a rectangular pyramid and a rectangular prism. Okay, this one's an easy one. This is not a polyhedron. This is a cone. So this is simply a cone. That's all we say. It's a cone. There's a circular base. It's a cone. We don't have to call it anything else. Same thing here. This is not a polyhedron. This is made of circles. So we have 2 circular bases, so therefore it's a cylinder. This reminds me of like a tuna can or a can of packed olives or something like that. Okay. And then here we go. This is another combo. This is a cylinder on the bottom with a cone on top. Those are not polyhedrons. And again, we can't really name it anything. We say it's a combination of a cone and a cylinder. Okay, so hopefully you get the gist of it there. Your homework, you are going to have page 376, 7 to 21 all. Some of those questions are multi-question. They have multi-answers to the question. So what I did on the Google form, I made sure to give you a spot for each of those questions. So for example, number 10, 11, and 12, they ask you to name the base, they ask you to name the face, and they ask you to name the shape. So I gave you a different space for each of those. So it says 10 part 1, 10 part 2, like 10A, 10B, 10C, something like that. So when you look at the Google form, make sure you're following that along and you're giving me 3 answers if it asks for it, okay? Again, take your notes on a separate sheet of paper, put it in your binder, do your homework on a separate sheet of paper if you need to, put it in a binder, because I hate when I get emails that say, oh no, I lost all my work. So that way if you write down your stuff, you don't have to worry in case you do lose the work, okay? So this is our last math lesson until after Easter break. So try and find math everywhere. Enjoy Easter, enjoy your family, do something fun, do something creative, and I will see you after Easter. Have a good one.